Hello, incoming freshman class of 2027. Welcome to Amador. This is your freshman year scheduling information presentation. The presentation will cover the counseling team, important dates, high school requirements versus college eligibility requirements, the typical ninth grade course load and important things to consider, electives, CTE, and honors courses, balance versus burnout, important links and information, and frequently asked questions. Here is the Amador Valley Counseling Department. Students with the last names A through CH have Mr. Mua. Students with the last names CI through HA have Miss McEntee Ponce. I, Miss Pacheco, have students with the last names HB through LA. Miss Torres has students with the last names LB through OL. Miss Maloney has students with the last name OM through SM. Miss Tran has students with the last names SN through Z. Miss Yu is our support counselor. Miss Woodworth is our college and career counselor, and she works Tuesdays through Thursdays. Our registrar is Miss Straub. Our ROP specialist is Miss Wilson, and she works Monday through Thursday from 9:30 to 2:30. Our counseling secretaries are Miss Strouch and Miss Dial. How can you get involved when you come to Amador? So one thing would be that you could play a sport at Amador. You can see that there are a variety of different sports available for students to play. In order to be eligible to play a sport here at Amador, you have to have at least a 2.0 GPA, and this includes your second semester 8th grade grades for fall sports. So make sure you maintain your GPA to be a 2.0 or above in order to play a sport at Amador. Maybe you'd like to join a club. Here are some sample clubs that students have enjoyed over the years: Link Crew, Dawn Squad, Interact, Get Set, and Robotics. Link Crew is when juniors and seniors present in PE classes and have a group of freshmen that they help connect to Amador or link to Amador Valley High School. That's something that you can do when you get older. Dawn Squad is a group of students who you may have seen at various sporting events where they wear the blue and gold and they root on their classmates to hopefully an AVH win in their sport. Interact is a volunteering club. Get Set is a math and science club for girls, and Robotics is building robots and competing in different competitions. This is just a few of the clubs here at Amador that you can get involved with. I have linked in the AVHS club website so you can look to see what other clubs we have available. Usually within the first couple weeks of school, there's a club fair on the quad during lunchtime, so you can find out about the different clubs that are available for you to join. We're going to be talking a lot about academics and courses that you have the option of selecting for next school year, but we want to remind you that high school is also supposed to be about your extracurricular activities as well. So we want to make sure that you're able to get involved in the extracurricular activities that you are interested in joining, and we want to make high school the best experience for you as possible. Some important dates for you to be aware of. Course selection window is going to be from February 1st through February 15th until midnight. Students and families will be able to enter and/or edit course selections in Q through Student Connect. You can change your mind and change your course selections as many times as you want between February 1st and February 15th. But once February 15th at midnight hits, your courses will be locked in and you will not be able to make any other changes at that time. Elective fair. We have an elective fair coming up on Monday, January 23rd from 6 to 8 p.m. in the large gym. We encourage you to attend. We'll have teachers available to answer questions about their courses. Now is a good time, Monday would be a good time for you to attend, and get a chance to talk to some of the teachers about the courses that they teach. Incoming ninth grade question and answer session will be Wednesday, January 25th in the Amador Theater. That's the theater located next to the main office at Amador. Session 1 is from 5:45 to 6:45 p.m. and session 2 is 6:55 to 7:55 p.m. This is a time where you can go and get any questions that you have about course selections answered. If you are planning on attending, please RSVP by clicking on the link found here and entering in the information. Your RSVP will help us ensure that we have enough space to accommodate everyone. Students that are planning on applying to the program AVID, there will be an AVID question and answer night for incoming ninth graders on Monday, January 30th from 5 to 6 p.m. over Zoom. The Zoom link will be provided soon. Course selection confirmation email. So in March at some point, families will receive an email confirming the courses that you selected for the 2023-24 school year. You'll want to look them over and make sure that the course selections that you were intending to pick are listed. If there are any errors or you need to make a change, certainly let us know at that time. Earning high school credits. What is a credit? Those are school units that you earn for passing a class. How do I earn credits? You pass a class with a D- or higher. How many credits can I earn in one semester? So this is going to be a math problem. If you are enrolled in 6 classes and each class is worth 5 credits, you can earn up to 30 credits each semester. Can I lose credits? You cannot lose credits you've already earned. However, if you fail a class, you will not earn credits for it and may need to make it up during summer school to remain on track to graduate. How many credits do I need to graduate? 230 credits. How many credits can I earn in 4 years? Okay, so we're going to continue on in our math problem. So if you take 6 classes the first semester of your freshman year, and each class is worth 5 credits per semester, that means you earned 30 credits for semester, assuming you passed everything. And then for second semester, you would earn an additional 30 credits. So by the end of your freshman year, you should have 60 credits. If you earn 60 credits for the 4-year of high school, then you would earn 240 credits overall, which leaves you with a 10 credit cushion. Here are the subject requirements for graduation, community college, University of California, which that's what the UC stands for, and CSU, Cal State University. So you'll see that the requirements for graduation and for community college are exactly the same. For community college, you either need to be a high school graduate or 18 years old. The first requirement we're going to go over is history and social science. So you need 3.5 years of history and social science, 1 semester of either ethnic studies or global studies. That class is going to be paired with health the other semester. 1 year of world history, which you will take as a sophomore, 1 year of US history, which you will take as a junior, and then your senior year, you take a semester of civics and 1 semester of econ. For the UCs, and I should explain, UC again stands for University of California. They are looking at taking the top 12.5% of high school seniors. They're as I go through the requirements for the UCs and CSUs, you'll notice that in parentheses it'll say recommended 3, recommended 4. The UCs and CSUs will want to see students go beyond the minimum requirements when they're making selections for admissions. CSU, the Cal State University system, is looking at accepting the top 1/3 or 33.33% of high school seniors. They also are looking for students to go beyond the minimum subject requirements. So for the UCs and CSUs, they require 2 years of history or social science. 1 year of world history, again, you're going to take as a sophomore, and 1 year of US history that you're going to take your junior year. Your ethnic studies or global studies, your civics, your econ are actually going to count for college prep electives. So by meeting your graduation requirements, you would be meeting two categories for UC-CSU admissions. You need 4 years of English in order to graduate high school. You need 4 years of English for UC-CSU eligibility for admissions. For math, you need 2 years of math in order to graduate. 1 year must be algebra or the equivalent of algebra. That means that if you took algebra in middle school and passed with a D minus or higher, then you've met the algebra requirement for graduation. And then if you came in taking geometry or honors geometry, that would count as your first year of math for graduation. And then whatever math you took your sophomore year, maybe algebra 2 or honors algebra 2, would be your 2-year math requirement for graduation. If you come in taking Algebra 1 your freshman year, that will meet the algebra requirement and your first year of math. And then if you took Geometry or Math 2, which is a slower paced geometry course, that would meet your 2 years math requirement for graduation. For UCs and CSUs, they require 3 years of math, algebra, geometry, and Algebra 2, and they recommend 4 years, which would be Pre-Cal or AP Stat. If you did the Algebra 1, Math 2, Math 3, and Math 4, that would also meet the 3-year minimum requirement for 4-year college admissions, because Math 2 is a slower paced geometry class, and Math 3 covers the first half of Algebra 2, and then Math 4 covers the second half of Algebra 2. So really it splits the year of Algebra 2 over 2 years, 1 year being first semester of Algebra 2 is covered in Math 3. Second semester of Algebra 2 is covered in Math 4. Science. You need 2 years of science in order to be eligible for graduation. 1 year of a life science or entry-level life science is biology, and 1 year of a physical science. Your physical science choices would be earth and space science, chemistry, or physics. You need 2 years of a life science for 4-year college admissions for the UCs and CSUs. 1 year of a life science with the lab, again, that would be biology. 1 year of a physical science with the lab, that would be earth and space science, chemistry, or physics. Again, they recommend 3 years, so that would be an additional year of either life science or physical science. For language other than English, also referred to as world languages, for graduation, you need either 1 year of a language other than English, or 1 year of a visual performing art, or 1 year of a career tech education class for graduation. For a UC and CSU, they require 2 years of the same language and recommend 3. If in middle school you took Spanish 1A and Spanish 1B, and then your freshman year you came in and took Spanish 2, Spanish 2 would count as your second year of world language or language other than English. And then your sophomore year, if you did Spanish 3, that would count as your recommended third year. Visual and performing art. For graduation, you either need 1 year of a visual performing art, or 1 year of a language other than English, or 1 year of a career tech education class. For UC and CSU admissions, in addition to the 2 years of the language other than English, with the third year being recommended, they also require 1 consecutive year of a visual performing art. For graduation, for career tech education, you could probably say this along with me at this point. 1 year of career tech education for graduation is required, or 1 year of language other than English, or 1 year of a visual performing art. A career tech education class is not required by UCs or CSUs for admissions. However, many of our career tech education classes are college prep and would fall under the college prep elective category. For UC and CSU admission. For PE, you need 2 years of PE. For graduation, that is not a requirement for UCs and CSUs. For health, you need 1 semester of health. You take that your freshman year paired with either ethnic studies or global studies. That is not a requirement for UCs or CSUs. However, that would also fall into the college prep elective category for UCs and CSUs admissions. Electives, you need 80 elective credits in order to graduate. So the elective credits are considered anything that goes beyond the minimum graduation requirements, meaning, um, let's say you took a third year of math, then your third year of math credits would go down under electives. Let's say you took a third year of science, then those credits would go down under electives because you've already met that requirement. Or once you've taken 1 year of a language other than English, any additional years of that language would count down under electives, and your visual and performing art class would, and any career tech classes that you take would go under there as well. Other things that also go in there is something that doesn't meet any of the other categories. So you're taking AVID, or when you're a junior or senior, you're a TA, or you're doing journalism or publications, which is our yearbook class. Any of those would go down under electives as well. For UCs and CSUs, you need 1 year of a college prep elective. Again, any course that doesn't meet one of the subject requirements that is college prep usually ends up in the college prep elective. Culinary would go under college prep elective, debate, yearbook, AVID, journalism, or anything that you've gone beyond the minimum requirement in. So it would be a fourth year of math, a third year of science, a third year of world language. All of those would also go down under college prep elective. So you need 230 credits in order to graduate. You need 15 courses to be eligible for UCCSU, and you get that just by counting down 2 history, 4 English, 3 math, and so on. Grades required for graduation, you need a D minus or above. For UCCSU admissions, you need a C minus or above. There is no testing requirement for graduation. There is no longer a testing requirement for UCs or CSUs. They will not look at or consider SAT or ACT scores for admissions anymore. One of the things I will mention, and we'll talk about it more as you get older, because they don't use the SATs or ACTs, the CSUs now will look at if you've gone beyond the minimum requirements in any subject area, and if you've taken any honors or AP classes. That is a practice that the UCs have done for years. That's not anything new, but it is something new for the CSUs, with the exception of Cal Poly, who always looked at that. Um, Community service, 20 hours of community service is required for graduation, and that can be completed anytime during high school. So that would start on the first day of your ninth grade. Um, UCs and CSUs do not require community service. However, most colleges would expect that you've done community service during your time in high school. The typical ninth grade course load. So you're required to take ninth grade English. You're required to take either ethnic studies or global studies and health. For math, you need to take a year of math. Typically, most students are taking either Algebra 1 or geometry or honors geometry. You can see your math teacher for their recommendation. Um, some students are doing their first or next level of language other than English. Science, Some students take science as a freshman, and some students wait to take science their sophomore year. So you could take science, or it could be another elective like a CTE course or a visual performing art. That's what VAPA stands for. CTE stands for Career Tech Education. So maybe you want to do a computer science class or an intro to engineering class or an art class or digital art, drama, something like that. You could take that your freshman year. PE, you are required to take PE your freshman year. I'm not sure what it says or another elective, so I will fix that. But PE is required for all students at the ninth grade level. English options. So you have a choice to either take college prep freshman English, that is your first choice. Um, on the right hand column, it will list the different novels you will read in college prep freshman English. This course counts for graduation as well as college admissions. You'll be studying vocab, you have to do your speech proficiency. You'll be looking at grammar and writing and analyzing text. So that's a quick summary of freshman English. Honors freshman English. So honors freshman English, they're going to go a little bit more in depth with your writing, probably have a few more essays than regular college prep English. You're going to explore tests from different genres. So some of the novels will be from the college prep list, and some will be the ones listed at the bottom of the page. An honors freshman English course, honors is going to be more rigorous. Probably spend more time studying for an honors English course than you would a college prep English course. Freshman honors English, you do not get the extra GPA point for. It's not a weighted course. GPA for college prep course and non-weighted honors courses is out of a 4.0. So an A is worth 4 points, a B is worth 3 points, a C is worth 2, a D is worth 1, and F is worth 0. At Amador, it doesn't matter if you have a plus or minus. So B plus, B, B minus, those are all 3.0s. The level of difficulty of your course loads is something that they look at for college admissions. So they will look to see if you've taken college prep or honors. If you're looking at taking honors, I would recommend that you're a strong English student and you enjoy English and enjoy reading. Ethnic studies or global studies in health. Excuse me. Global studies, this is a one semester course. They study geography and cultural studies. Are integrated into each unit as appropriate. An emphasis is placed on the unresolved problems of the modern world. Ethnic Studies is a new course for us starting next school year. This course is looking at analyzing historical and current events. We'll apply a sociological lens in researching and discussing issues which include race and racism, classism, and oppression. They will emphasize a multitude of experiences and perspectives in history. So you have a choice between these two courses for next year. Because Ethnic Studies is a brand new course for us, you'll notice on the course selection sheet, it will have an XP next to it, meaning that it's pending UC approval for a college prep class. That's true anytime we have a new course, so that's not anything unusual. February is when the UCs open their window for us to submit new courses for UC approval. I would assume that that course will be approved as a college prep class. If for some reason it does not get approved, we would let you know that when you return to school in August, and then you would have an opportunity to select global studies instead. But again, I'm not concerned about it not being approved as a college prep class. Health. That's going to be the semester opposite of either global studies or ethnic studies. Students in health will study the physical, mental, emotional, and social factors of health. This just goes on to tell you some of the topics that they cover. Again, health is a graduation requirement. The slides will be posted on the Amador Counseling website, so you certainly can read them over. I will pause for a second so that you can take a chance to read some other information on the slide. Okay. Math options. So again, your math teacher is going to recommend for you what class you should take the following year. If you are in Math 8 this year, Math 8 does not meet the Algebra 1 requirement, so next year you're going to want to take Algebra 1. If you are in the Math 8 Algebra 1 or Algebra 1 class this year, you are welcome to sign up for Geometry or Honors Geometry. If you're in Honors Geometry this year, you would sign up for Algebra 2 or Honors Algebra 2. Again, you're going to want to check with your current math teacher to see what your current math teacher's recommendation is, and then you can take that recommendation into account when you're selecting classes for next school year. Here's the math pathway just so that you know what your next steps could be moving forward from 10th grade to 12th grade. If you end up taking algebra next school year, as a freshman, your options are you could go into Math 2, which is a slower paced geometry class. If you did that, then you would move on to Math 3, which is the first half of Algebra 2, and then to Math 4, which is the second half of Algebra 2, and meet the minimum math requirement for four-year college admissions. If you go into geometry your sophomore year, then you can take Algebra 2 your junior year and pre-calculus your senior year. If you are in Algebra 1 your freshman year and you go on to a class called Course 1, which covers a year of geometry and the first half of Algebra 2 in your sophomore year, then your junior year, you could take the Algebra 2 and Pre-Cal, which is Course 2. So it's the second half of Algebra 2, a full year of Pre-Cal during your junior year. And then your senior year, you would have the option of College Prep Calculus, AP Calc AB, which is a semester of college calculus, or AP Calc BC, which covers a full year of college calculus. If you take geometry or honors geometry your freshman year, then you could go on to either Algebra 2 or Honors Algebra 2, then junior year Pre-Cal or Honors Pre-Cal, and then senior year AP Calc AB or AP Calc BC. If you start out in Honors Algebra 2 as a freshman, you could do Honors Pre-Cal. Your sophomore year, Honors Pre-Cal is our one honors math class that does have the weighted GPA. So an A in Honors Pre-Cal is a 5.8. Then your junior year, you can take AP Calc BC. And then your senior year, you could take multivariable or AP Stat. AP Stat you can actually take after you complete Algebra 2. Your senior year as an elective. Science options. So for science, you have the option of biology. You could also take the principles of biomed concurrently with biology your freshman year. Principles of biomed is part of our Project Lead the Way sequence. You have to take them in order, and the principles class is the first class in the sequence. You could also take Earth and Space Science or Chemistry. They recommend if you're taking Chem that you've completed algebra with a C or better because of the math involved in Chem. And then for Physics, they recommend completion of Algebra, Geometry, Algebra 2 so that you have a strong math background before taking Physics. Some of our students take science their freshman year. Some of our students wait until their sophomore year. Again, it's a 2-year requirement for science, so you could do that your sophomore and junior year. And then if you wanted to take a science your senior year, you would still have space your senior year to take your 3rd year of science. For biology specifically, Biology is one of those classes where, and this is very similar to geometry, where you have to take in the information, memorize the information, and be able to apply it in different ways, think in an abstract way. And some students at age 14 developmentally have the ability to do that. And some students at age 14 do not have the ability to do that. And then they take it their sophomore year and they do. So you know your student better than we do. You can use that information as a gauge to decide, do I want my student to take biology their freshman year? Would I rather them take earth and space or maybe chem? Or should I just have them wait? Maybe they could take their visual and performing art their freshman year, or they're interested in computer science or intro to engineering, and wait and take their science class their sophomore year. So, just something to think about as you're selecting your classes for next year. Choosing a science that's best for you. This goes into a little bit more detail about the subjects and what kinds of topics they cover. So, again, I will pause for a second so that you can read through it. I feel like I kind of covered the math recommendations already, so I don't want to get into that too much. And I feel like the topics are kind of self explanatory, but I will take a second just to pause so that you can look that over before I go on to the next slide. And again, this recording will be posted, so you can always pause it and read it. And or we will have the slides by themselves posted onto the Amador website. Elective options. Why are elective options just as important as core requirements? Well, it gives you a chance to take a class that you might be interested in, and it might be a class that you've never taken before. So it can be fun, it can be engaging, and you can see if it's something that you really want to pursue, or maybe something that you thought you were interested in, and then you realize maybe that's actually not my area of interest. And high school is the perfect time to do that. There are a lot of choices. So, for the language other than English, our options are American Sign Language, which we affectionately refer to as ASL, um, Chinese, which is Mandarin, Japanese, French, Korean, and Spanish. For English, some of our elective choices in English are creative writing, debate, journalism, and yearbook, which the official title is publications. Visual performing arts, we have art, ceramics, digital art, drama, band, choir, orchestra, photography, theater production, video production, and more. Excuse me. CTE, we have computer science, culinary skills, intro to engineering. Intro to engineering is also part of the Project Lead the Way courses, and it also needs to be taken in sequence. Intro to engineering is the entry level course. Other courses that you can take, leadership, there is an application process for that. They usually select 2 to 4 freshmen, if I remember correctly. And then as you get older, you'll have more opportunities to be selected into leadership. Um, Avid, if you're planning on applying to Avid, Avid is a program that helps students who are bright, but not maybe meeting their full potential because of maybe like a lack of organization, or they need some tips on how to study, how to prepare for tests. So the idea is that by teaching students those skills, that their grades will go up and they'll be more competitive for college application. So there is an application for Avid if you're hoping or planning on applying for that particular program. We usually do an interview as well. I happen to be Miss Pacheco here. I happen to be the AVID counselor. So um, I would encourage students and parents who feel like that might be a great class for them to go ahead and apply. Information about AVID will be sent out soon, along with a video explaining the course. And then we are going to be having our question and answer session for incoming ninth graders interested in AVID on Monday, January 30th from 5 to 6 p.m. And that's going to be over Zoom. So just a little AVID plug. This is not an exhausted list. Please see the ninth grade course selection sheet for a full list of courses that are available to you. Career tech education. So we have career tech pathways here on campus, meaning that you would take a number of courses in the same field and with the hope that your interest and exposure to a particular career would increase with each year, and the hope that that would prepare you not only for college, but also for your career. In the right hand column, far right hand column, you can see a list of the CTE pathways that are offered through PUSD, and you'll see that they are in a variety of different areas, and we have courses um, that fall into all of those categories. So, again, I will give you a second to read them over, and then the slides will be also available on the counseling website. Okay, moving on. Um, are you planning on taking band? Band is a really popular program here at Amador. The kids that are in band always describe it as being part of a family. They do marching band competitions. They perform in the winter during their concerts. It's a really amazing program. Mr. Grantham is the band director, who's amazing. So if you are one of those lucky students that are planning on being a band member for next school year, first of all, just want to let you know that marching band is required for all freshmen. So if you are planning on being in marching band or being in band next year, just know that marching band is going to be a commitment for you in ninth grade. It's not a separate class for you to sign up for, but just want to let you know that going in. Um, as a music student, so this is also true for if you're in orchestra or if you are in choir or in band, any of those students have the option of doing a 7 period day and starting at 7 a.m., which is our A period. So if you want an A period, I'm going to do this. No, you know what? I'll do it in order of the slide. Okay. So let's say you are not a morning person. You do not want 7 classes. You don't want to get at school at 7 a.m. You only want 6 classes, but you want one of the classes to be band. What you're going to do is you're going to sign up for PE, concert band, and 4 other classes. So probably English, global studies or ethnic studies and health, math, PE, concert band, and then you have one other. So it might be a world language, might be a science, might be computer science, just another class. Um, if you want a 7 period day and you do want to start at 7 a.m. and you do want that A period, what you're going to do is you're going to sign up for concert band, 5 academic courses, and not PE. So basically, you're going to sign up for 6 classes. Do not include PE if you want the 7 period day. We will go back in later and add PE to your A period. Same process, I should say, for choir. You would sign up for choir, substitute choir for band, and orchestra, substitute orchestra for concert band. Okay, honors courses. So, honors courses are more rigorous than college prep classes. Most honors courses, like freshman English, do not have the extra GPA boost. However, colleges do consider that students have challenged themselves by taking an honors course. Honors courses typically require more reading. They move through the material more quickly. Sometimes they have summer work, although since the pandemic, there's been a huge decrease in the request for summer work, but you're going to want to check with probably with Miss Sklar to see if there's any summer work for freshman English. Um, Only take honors courses in subjects you truly enjoy, and if you have done well in these subjects in the past. Don't burn yourself out. So, as you're selecting classes for next year, you want to think about how you did in your eighth grade classes. Were they about right in terms of difficulty? Does it seem like maybe I could increase the level of difficulty and do a little bit better? Um, or be sorry, increase the level of difficulty and be a little bit more challenged, but do okay academically? Do I feel like maybe I took on too difficult of a schedule this year and maybe I should lighten my load next year? And then also keep in mind you're going to have the extracurricular activities because that makes high school more fun. But also, the colleges want to see that you're involved in two or three extracurricular activities consistently throughout your high school years. So, that takes up time too. So there's only 24 hours in the day. You need time to sleep. You need time to eat. You need time to hang out with your friends. You need time to be with your family. You need time for your chores at home. You need time for your classes, your homework, and your extracurriculars. So really think that through before you select your classes for next school year. Okay, so I kind of talked about the school life balance. Make sure you're taking all of that into account when you're selecting your courses for next school year. Um, and I've talked about this too. I think I covered most of that. Just maybe the questions to ask yourself I didn't mention. So, what do I like about school? If I take one less rigorous course, will my other courses improve? What are my priorities? What am I willing to sacrifice? So if I take like an honors course, am I okay with not hanging out with my friends as long after school? So something to kind of keep in mind. So the idea is that each year, um, you continue to challenge yourself and you continue to excel and do well. But as we know, if you look at the box on the right, sometimes when we're learning and growing up, and this even happens as an adult, you try something, maybe it doesn't work out as you had hoped. So then you try something different, and it becomes kind of a more of a bumpy road versus a nice, smooth transition through, like the picture on the left. So ideally, um, it would be great to maybe take a load that you feel comfortable with, maybe not overload yourself freshman year. And then at that point, see like, again, can I add on an honors course? Do I want to see if I can do an AP course and like maybe gradually increase the level of difficulty while still being successful? Um, there is a learning curve going from eighth grade to ninth grade in terms of what the expectations are in the classes. I know sometimes kids who are super bright but aren't used to studying, sometimes that can be a tough transition for them because they're realizing, oh gosh, now I have to study, now I have to prepare, and they haven't been working on those skills the whole time throughout high school. So it can be a little bit of a challenge transitioning from 8th to ninth grade. Once you get those skills down, once you learn how to study for tests, then things will go a lot better for you. But just know going in, there is a little bit of a learning curve adjusting to what the expectations are at the high school level and how to study and prepare for tests. And I don't want to sound negative. So a lot of our kids do great with the transition from 8th grade to ninth grade, but just want to let you know some hiccups that can happen along the way so that you're prepared and can work your way through those as they come up, if they come up for you. So for your planning and balance, there is a link to making a 4-year plan. I know Miss Jones, Miss Woodworth, and Miss Bartolome have been starting to go to the middle schools to help eighth graders with their 4-year plans, and we'll continue to do that. So some of you might have 4-year plans already in place, and you can look and reevaluate them each year to see where you're at, if that's still the class, or if those are still the classes that you have an interest in taking, or if maybe you want to change things up based on what you've taken up to that point. When you get to Amador, here are some of the supports that we have at AVHS for you. So, first of all, we have our amazing social and emotional support counselor, Miss Yu, and she takes student drop ins. She also takes students that want to make an appointment with her, and she helps support students with social and emotional help. Certainly, the alphabet counselors do that as well. We're also monitoring your academics. So Miss Yu is full-time social and emotional support. She's a great resource. I would encourage you to reach out to her and introduce yourself to her. She's a really great counselor that we have on campus. The AVHS Wellness Center that opened, gosh, I think right before the pandemic, if I remember correctly. It's the first hallway in the library. It's in the hallway in the library. It's the first door on your right hand side. It's open daily from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., usually during your health classes. They'll give you a tour of the Wellness Center so that you know where it is. And really, the idea behind it is so that you can come in if you're feeling overwhelmed or stressed during the school day. Excuse me, you can go in for like 15 minutes, use your relaxation techniques, kind of take a break, and then feel well enough to go back to class and be able to handle the stressful situation that you needed to leave from. There's additional information that's available and resources in the Amador Valley Wellness Center, but it's a good resource for us to have on campus. So, some things that are available are you can meditate, you can rest or relax, you can read. We've got coloring books and drawing. Sometimes students just want to have a cup of tea and just kind of relax for a little bit. And again, you can be down there for about 10 minutes and then you would go back to class. We do offer workshops in there sometimes during access period, and we can talk more about that once you're here at Amador. Students are not allowed to visit without a pass from a teacher. They're not on their phones. They're not supposed to do homework or socialize or sleep. It's not a place to avoid exam or quizzes. You can't come in to eat your lunch. Um, and it's not a spot to receive one on one counseling. That's what the counseling office is for, or to try and stay beyond the 15 minutes. We have a college and career center that's available for students at Amador Valley. They're the ones that plan the college representative visits. They plan the college and career fair. They organize and advertise the scholarships. They host academic workshops, and then any summer programs, jobs, or internship opportunities they advertise to students as well. How do you access your counselor when you're at Amador? So, during Access, we do a lot of workshops where we help support students with scheduling. We're going to have workshops helping kids. If they have any college or any, well, college questions too, but questions for course selections. We help kids with their college applications if they have questions around that. And we do presentations on various topics. Um, so we usually email that information out or we put it on AVTV, which is our video bulletin that it gets shown once a week. You would sign up through FlexiSketch. You can also request an appointment with your counselor, the support counselor, or the College and Career Center. You can email your counselor if you have a quick question, or you can drop in during brunch or lunch or after school if we don't have a meeting. We're available. Some helpful links and resources. This has some scheduling information. They're just putting the finishing touches on the program guide, so I'll have that linked in there soon. And the ninth grade course selection sheet, so you can click on that and see all the options that are available for a ninth grader. This is the AVHS course description videos. Our teachers put together videos about their courses, so if you want to look that over to get more information about courses, and then um, a paper for your plan. I know again that most of you guys did that in Zello, our college and career planning website, but if you wanted a paper one, you could get it there. February 1st through February 15th, students can select their courses through Q Student Connect. And There are important dates. So, again, February 1st through February 15th until midnight, you can select your courses. A reminder about the elective fair on Monday, January 23rd from 6 to 8 in the large gym. Teachers will be available to answer any questions about their courses. Highly encourage you to attend. And then our incoming ninth grade question and answer session, Wednesday, January 25th in the Amador Theater. First session, 5:45 to 6:45. Second session, 6:55 to 7:55. Please RSVP by clicking on the link here so that we know how many people are coming and make sure we have space for everyone. Avid question and answer night for incoming ninth graders will be Monday, January 30th from 5 to 6 p.m. over Zoom. When we post the slides, I will make sure I put the Zoom link in there if you are planning on attending. Course selection confirmation email. So usually in March, you'll receive the email confirming the course selections for your student for that school for next school year. Thank you so much for listening to the presentation, and we look forward to having you at Amador next school year. Have a great day.